Run for the Wall is now escorting us, and their motto is, we ride for those who can't. It's blossomed into what we have today, which is the largest motorcycle event in the United States, very possibly the world.
I think we all ride with people in mind that we knew. I think some people ride with the guys that are riding because they know them, they know what they've gone through.
I don't know if y'all run into any of these guys yet that are just really tore and just really having a hard time.
We didn't want to have this story, but we ended up with this story. Yeah. It's never been told. It's never been told.
It's a healing ride.
Every year before Memorial Day weekend, thousands of motorcycle riders set off from Ontario, California on mission to Washington, D.C. They are Run for the Wall. For 10 days, they journey, making their way to the Vietnam Memorial. Once there, they meet up with almost 1 million more bikers for Rolling Thunder. Together, they ride to bring awareness to POWs and MIAs unaccounted for. They ride to heal. They ride to serve. They are the Brotherhood of Thunder.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how the thunder rolls.
All these people are very significant in why I do Run to the Wall. Run to the Wall, I've been doing it personally for a few years. There was a person that is on that wall that if I wouldn't have been as drunk as I was, I would have done my job on January 17th, 1967. But he did the job, and he was shot down an hour later, 300 yards from coming in. And I helped retrieve his body, along with 3 others.
We gather with our brothers, for they are on a journey traveling across our great country. They too have a mission to complete, onto our nation's capital in Washington, D.C., to gather at the Veterans Memorial Wall, to visit the wall and read the names of those that have given the ultimate sacrifice.
I've told you a story about me, not because I want you to feel sorry for me, but I want you to understand why I asked you people to be here. I didn't know where I was going or what to do. I just knew I had to get it off my chest before I'm gone. The guilt, the shame, the just plain anger. The survival guilt is probably one of the worst things a person can have.
For they are our brothers. They are our heroes. They have a long voyage ahead.
I wanted to be on the wall. It was not fair that he was on the wall. But I can talk about it. These 2 guys pulled me out of a hole lower than whale dung.
We ask our Holy Father to guide their way, and with God's speed, they will get the job done.
You guys got your stories. I hope you're not carrying a burden. Who hasn't been to the wall? Continue the mission, right, sir? If we don't get all of you guys to continue on, we don't have any hope.
If someone remembers, you're not forgotten. You're not forgotten. And one of our sayings is, We'll never forget. One of the reasons I keep coming back is this monument. This is Huey. She's coming in to pick up that wounded brother in the center. The infantryman with his rifle up, that's a standard call for medevac help. The infantryman with his head turned is looking back at 13 brothers lost. You fly in, you pick the guys, the survivors up, and as you leave, you have to look at the bodies on the ground that you can't get. And the LZ's too hot that we can't honor a time-honored code and never to leave somebody behind. And that's one of the reasons we have so many MIAs from Vietnam.
My father, Captain Ron Forster, is still missing in action, and one of the many names on the wall. My name is Karen Forster. I am the outreach coordinator for the Southern Route. I think it's really important for us to come to a place like this, though. As we've stopped at many memorials today, this place will not just honor and remember. This Vietnam War Museum will educate. And I think the best person to tell you the plans for this museum is Jim Messinger.
We're going to open a real museum here with a real building, 18,000 square feet. Every dollar we've raised has been the $1 at a time way. We bought the land. We built the first garden. A friend of mine put that helicopter up on that 20-foot pole, basically all by himself. It cost the museum $100 for the plaque I made to recognize the guy for doing that. Now, how many of you would be willing to pay $100 to have a Huey sitting on a pole? Yeah, see? We love the memorial part, but what we really want to do is educate people. We want to tell the facts about the Vietnam War and the Vietnam era.
Families who had missing loved ones. We were told by the government not to say that he had been shot down in Laos because our country technically and supposedly was not in Laos at that time. So it was a very, very dark time, a very confusing time, very scary time.
We were told not to mention it. We were told he received the Bronze Star. I asked the colonel at that time, I said, why did he get it? He said it was so top secret and classified that I would never find out, probably.
We're just now starting to change that. And this run is what has helped that along.
Look, read, research. School don't show you the truth. Books aren't telling you. Go back and find it for real. In my opinion, they're trying to dumb it down, make it soft and easy. It wasn't a big deal, it was a conflict. It was a major deal and it was bloody and nasty. Talk to the guy that was in the foxhole that his buddy got his head blown off. Talk to those guys. That way the truth is out there. Not it was justified. It was a conflict. It wasn't a conflict. It was a freaking war. Blood, dead, people gone.
And together, we can put all the pieces in one place and show everybody the real puzzle. Here's what really happened. Some people say the truth. I don't know the truth. I can't handle the truth. But we can certainly present the facts, and we will do that.
So we're gonna wrap up today with the wreath laying. But I think it's just real important to recognize we're all on a journey to go to D.C. to see the wall. But it is so important to have places like this because D.C. is very far from Texas. Most of us know someone on that wall. And it means a lot for us to get to come and to touch that name, leave a token, a flower, say a prayer. It's great that people in this area can come here. So when you leave, tell others what you saw and how we can even just contribute a little to continue to make this vision a reality here in Mineral Wells.
Well, Run for the Wall's coming through. Of course, it's they're riding for those who can't ride, and it's a whole bunch of Vietnam and other different war vets that are coming through. They started off in Cucamonga, California. They're on the way to the wall in Washington, D.C. My rush for me personally is just to be able to serve our vets. You know, it's the very least, the very minimal we could possibly do for these folks after a lot of them were out there on the front lines, and some of them were POWs, you know, some of them could have been MIAs, just different people, you know what? And to me, there's a deep-rooted respect that, you know what, because of them, we could be here doing this today.
My name is Daniel Brosh, and I work for Alaska Airlines, and I am a volunteer for the Fallen Soldier Program. The Fallen Soldier Program was created because we've seen that there could be a better way to deal with these soldiers that have given up their life for ours. We are escorting a cart to Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. There was an issue because when soldiers were returning home from war, or even soldiers or military personnel that had passed away from natural causes, let's say, when they were transported on our aircraft, sometimes there's nobody there to greet them. Myself, the first time that I seen that, I was a little taken back by the fact that it was just a box coming out of our cargo hold. Once I realized that that was the body of a soldier, it made you really think about things. It's heart-wrenching when you realize that there's somebody's child, somebody's father, son, daughter, mother, sister in that box that signed that dotted line when they became a soldier, ultimately saying that they will die for their country. Alaska Airlines mechanics decided that they wanted to do something special. They wanted to do something to make it a more respectful process. So they acquired a baggage cart. They painted it patriotic red, white, and blue, red carpets, and put all the military emblems on it. A soldier follows the body to its final resting place. One was coming to my station. I work out of Los Angeles Airport. And a friend of mine asked me, what could I do? Well, I ride motorcycles. I figured I would get an escort together with some friends. That's when the idea came about from some Patriot Guard riders and a couple Alaska airline employees who were having dinner, and they were talking about, let's do Run for the Wall. And their motto is, we ride for those who can't, meaning the soldiers that are either not physically capable anymore or are no longer with us. And here we are today with that cart traveling across the United States, going from town to town and receiving more support than I ever could have dreamed of. Along the way, we've picked up mementos from families, from their family who have passed, say, will you take this to the wall? This particular cart here is currently carrying some remains of a Korean War veteran. They're in that mason jar. Their family, along the way, asked us if we would deliver that to the wall. We have lots of little mementos, things from some of these children, from some of these towns across America that have come out to greet us and tell us that they think we're doing the right thing. Our goal is to get that cart there, drag it across the United States, and tell anybody who will listen what we think. And what we think is what all these veterans think. We believe in doing the right thing and honoring our soldiers. And that's the gist of what we do.
Ramblers in the wilderness, yeah, we can't find what we need. We get a little restless from the search and get a little worn down in between. like a bull chasing a matador. As a man left to his own schemes, but everybody needs someone beside, shining like a lighthouse from the sea. Brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress, the night with the driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring it home.
Run for the Wall is nothing about a motorcycle ride and everything about loyalty to country and to other men. And there's an eagerness that is palpable of men wanting to reestablish that sense of loyalty and commitment and friendship that we once had when we were young men. And you can put your arm around anyone, you can cry with anyone, and there's a sense of affection and loyalty that is exactly the same thing that I had when I was 20, 21 years old. And I can only recommend any veteran able to ride for another veteran that they should join Run for the Wall.
I was told everybody, if you go into the wall the first time, don't go alone. Bring someone that'll help you, that'll be there to help you. I don't care if it's another vet you know, I don't care if it's your family. Don't go alone because you'll be overwhelmed.
To be honest, you don't want to go to the wall by yourself. You really don't. It's hard. You know, it's difficult.
Mike and I have grown to know each other quite well. He hauls the general around, and that's his, I would say it's his security blanket, but it's not. The general's a worker, and he works for Mike and takes care of him.
The dog knows why motorcycles do what we do. Because you ever see dogs, they're always sticking their head out.
I mean, my main goal when I started riding with him was to make sure he saw as much of the United States as I possibly could. He's 11. He's been in that bag since he was 3 months old. He grew up out of that bag because he was clear down the bottom. He was like this big. So he grew up out of that bag. He's got 189,000 miles on him right now. I'm thinking by the end of the year, he could break 200,000. I mean, he's been across the United States now 14 times. He's been in the company of 2 presidents, George Bush and Bill Clinton. 2009, I took him to Hollywood Boulevard. I got a picture of him on Lassie Star and on Rin Tin Tin Star. Yep. He's been to the Grand Canyon. He's been to Graceland twice on a VIP tour. He's an amazing little dog, really.
This helps a lot because, like I said, it's part of the healing. And the healing is important for Vietnam vets. You know, we haven't had this kind of healing process.
God bless you, and God bless Run for the Wall.
Tell your story. Tell it to your grandkids and your neighbors and your community, because you're all heroes. You're all heroes.
And on the way, every mile or so, they would shoot a prisoner. The history is right there. I mean, they tell you the way it is.
They closed down the highway. Today, they actually closed the highway, and for the first time in history, the southern route stopped in the middle of the highway for a Huey helicopter to take a picture.